Hey everybody, welcome back to Watch and Carry. So in today's video, I've got another mod build for you guys. So these are the parts in front of you that I'm thinking about doing. We're going to be taking this one. This is the Casio AE 1300-8AV with the triple dials here. Really nice matte gray case, and then it comes on this black resin strap. And then we're going to be adding some color filters, and the whole inspiration for this project is really this strap. I came across this randomly on eBay. If you're looking for really cool Casio factory straps, you can type in Casio strap NOS, N as in Nancy, O as in Oscar, S as in Sam. I don't know what that stands for. I feel like everybody knows. But when you do that, you get a whole bunch of vintage or older Casio straps, oftentimes from other countries where you have more selection than here in the US. But this one, I'll put the link for this below. I don't know what model this comes off of, but this is called the Sporty Casual. And this is either a resin or a rubber strap. Probably feels like resin. And it just has these really cool colors. You have the blue, the yellow, the black line, and then the red over here. Just a really nice, cool vintage look. 18 millimeters at the lugs, then it flares out a little bit wider after that to, I believe, 25, 24, 23 millimeters here at its widest point. And then it tapers quite aggressively down. So it's, you know, a little bit too thin of a taper, I think, for me on this watch. Because the watch case is a little bit chunky, but it does fit the lugs perfectly, so you won't have any, you know, moving around in there. And I think it just looks so cool that I have to go ahead and make a mod for this, you know, just to find some use for this strap. And pretty cheap, by the way. I think I paid $6 for this, for a pair of them, actually. So we're going to be using also some Lee filters, and the filters, I want to color match this. So the whole idea here is that you have three main colors on the strap: the blue, the yellow, and the red, and you have three dials on the Casio, 1, 2, and 3. So I'd like the left dial to be blue to match that, the middle to be yellow to match, and the red to be on the right side. So you'll have this consistent line of red, yellow, and blue going from strap to watch to strap again. So that's the whole idea for today's theme. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I've already chosen the colors for this. So here's my sample pack. This is called a, what is the technical word for this? There was a word for this booklet. Anyways, this is a sample booklet by Lee's Filters. You can also find them under Swatch Books or other companies. Basically, you're looking for camera lighting gel filters. And if you want to have a variety because you don't know what color you want a sample pack like this. Now, you won't obviously get a big sheet, but the benefit is you get, like, this must be over 100 different colors in here. And then you can kind of cycle through them. And in this case, like I have my strap here, I can kind of cycle through them and say, oh, does this match? Does that match? And once you find one you like, you can just cut out a little piece of it, make a small mod. And if that ends up being really popular for you, you can go ahead and order a bigger sheet of this. So for example, that fern green, I have a huge, you know, 2 foot by 2 foot length piece up in my storage bin that I use because I really like this color. And so I put it on a lot of my different mods, especially some of the ones I sell. So in going through this whole sample booklet, I found that for the yellow, because it's kind of like an off yellow, not quite as yellow as that, it's almost like a straw. So I was actually calling it straw in my head already, and actually there's a filter called Straw by Lee Filter, number 443, and it's a pretty decent match to that one. And then we're going to be using for the blue, Shanklin Frost. So that's a pretty close resemblance to that blue. Okay. 717 is the name of that one. And then we have Terry Red. It's the closest I could find to that one. Number 781. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, I've already done this off camera, or actually before I film this. But what you do is you'll take apart your watch, and then I'll show you how to kind of trace one of those colors and then cut them out. Then you can just kind of, you know, figure that out, that's how you're going to do it for the other. So we're going to go to the back of our watch here. You have these 4 screws in the back. Let's go ahead and take those off. Go. There comes the case back. And let's go ahead and remove our O-ring here. Just in case that falls off for you guys, I'll show you how to put that back in. Go to the module. Now you'll just go to the 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock. Look for this tiny notch at the bottom and just kind of lift up. There's that notch. Okay, here's our module. Okay, and we'll go to our masking. Gently lift that up without touching the inside of that glass. Set that aside, and then we'll take our case back and just cover that up so we can limit any dust from getting in there, and take this and set this guy to the side. Okay, now when it comes to your colors, so for example the straw one, okay, we're going to be using straw for the middle. We're going to take the masking and flip it over. You'll put the masking underneath here and just find the shade you need. Now, it's better if you're wearing gloves. I am out of gloves, so it's better if you're wearing gloves so you don't get fingerprints on your masking. But you'll put the masking underneath the filter. Actually, you know what? Let's do this in blue because it's showing up better on camera. Or should we do red? Let's do red. There's more contrast with red. I'm trying to just do what will be easier for you guys to see. So the red will be on the right side, so that one. So we'll do it on the left because we're turning this upside down. So we'll do that. So you can see here, I kind of put the masking underneath, and then you will trace in Sharpie kind of what you want to cut out, like that. So there's our Sharpie mark. Okay, a little bit hard to see, but there you go. And then you will take some scissors, go ahead and cut that out. There we go. Got our little piece there. We'll go back to our masking. Here's our filter. Okay, you'll take the filter and kind of test fit it, put it over that to make sure that you can have enough space here at the top to apply some adhesive, whether that's double-sided tape. Super glue, I'm finding out, is really not the best thing, but that'll work too. In my case, I'm not really sure if I want to keep this. I'm just going to put a little bit of electrical tape across the top here just to kind of test fit it, and then if I really like it, I can get some double-sided tape off of Amazon later because I don't have any on me right now. So you can see here I've got enough gap here on the top from the opening there to the top. There should be a little bit of space there to put your adhesive. Okay, and this fits pretty well. If you have it sticking out here, like let's say this is pressed up in the corner for some reason, you may want to make sure that you trim that and that the masking is not large, or the filter is not larger than the masking, because when you reassemble it, it will bend the filter. So this is the correct size. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat that same procedure for the yellow and for the blue. I'm going to do that off camera and then kind of come back. Okay, so here we have the red and the straw colors. I'll kind of put those down like so. You can see there's a little bit of duct tape there at the top. So again, and this is, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this, so I'm just putting something temporary for now. I got to make sure that tape is not visible on the other side. Yeah, let's put that up just a little bit higher. There we go. Looks pretty good. Kind of push that tape down. There we go. So again, just make sure your masking covers obviously the entire width of that hole and a little bit more. Okay, and just make sure that your adhesive is not poking through into that display because it'll show up when you reassemble. Let's go ahead and grab our last one here, the blue. And if you have any fingerprints, obviously grab a microfiber cloth and wipe that off. And then I like to take this air blaster, kind of blast off any dust that might be in there. Set the blue one down. And if this is going to be a permanent knob for you, like you really like this idea, just use double-sided tape. It's just a whole lot better, and it looks cleaner when you do it this way. This looks kind of a little bit messy, but it'll do the job. So that's all done there. Okay, we will take our module now. Okay, take our masking, flip this over, and what I like to do here is if you have a little bit of dust here, just find something soft to put on the back of it, and then you can kind of blast this out. And the reason why you're putting something to support from the bottom is so that you don't, push that filter off and have it fall. So that way we can be a little bit more aggressive with our blaster. There we go. One more time over here. Good. And let's test fit this, and there you go. I think that's pretty cool. It's kind of coming along together at this point. Let's kind of compare it to the strap. I would say it's close, like 90% of the way there. Going through that whole booklet of colors, that's the closest I could find. So I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's go ahead and set that to the side. We'll go ahead and grab our case back again, or our case. There we go. Just make sure you know which side is 12, which side is 6. Okay, flip that over. Take this off. We'll flip this upside down. Take your blaster and kind of give it a good blast just to make sure there's very little dust in there. Then we'll take our masking. If this side is the 12 o'clock, you're going to put your masking in this way and then kind of pat it down. That looks good. Take your module, you're going to put it down this way with the 3 dials kind of going to the left. Okay, then you're going to put a little bit of pressure with your finger and push down, and then at the same time pull inward on these 4 contacts, and that will allow them to sit behind these 4 pushers on the outside. So that way the pusher, it's the contact, and it interacts with the module properly. So that's going to sit down perfectly. We're going to take our O-ring next. Okay, with your O-ring, just know that it's a little asymmetrical. You have this little notch here that indicates the 12 o'clock position. So when you go to your watch, 12 o'clock is here. You'll go ahead and lay that down. Make sure there's a little bit of a shiny glisten to your O-ring. If not, I would recommend lubricating with 100% silicone oil. Make sure you don't use mineral oil or baby oil or vegetable oil. Those oils are a little bit corrosive to rubber parts. 100% silicone, however, is not. That's why people who do hydro mods use 100% silicone oil. Okay, so now that that's in place, we've got our O-ring. We're going to take our case back, orient it this way. Okay, insert that in. Okay, turn it around. I like to check my functions first before I put the screws in. So we're on the stopwatch feature, so we'll start with this bottom right. Top left. Good. Bottom right or bottom left to switch modes. Good. and then backlight. There you go. And that's kind of how the backlight looks with the filter. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be a little bit harder to tell the indicators with the blue filter and the red, but the yellow shows up really well. Okay, but whatever. Your time shows up and it's not modified in any way with colors, so to me that's all that really matters, that you're going to be checking at night anyways. So now that we know our pushers are working well, we can go ahead and screw this case back in, and then we'll get to the strap at the end, which will be the fun part because that'll kind of bring it all together. To me, this is kind of like, you know, I work on my car quite a bit, and it's kind of like matching wheels and tires with a car, the car being the case of the watch and the wheels and tires being the strap. I don't know. I think, honestly, a strap can make a huge difference on a watch, and I think it's oftentimes undervalued. There's purists out there who really hate changing straps. They think it's a sin to change a strap on a watch, and to each their own, but again, to each their own. I like to change straps, and it gives a watch a whole new, fresh look. This is a really cool watch on its own, but man, I think I'm just going to love this even more by putting that other strap. So let's enjoy this first. Let's kind of take a look at what this looks like. Give you a round the view shot of this. There you go. Really cool colors, actually. Kind of go well. All right, now let's go for the strap. We'll flip this guy over. And strap, as I mentioned, is 18 millimeters, so you'll have no problem reusing these 18 millimeter spring bars. Okay, kind of a comparison here between the strap. They both start off at 18. You can see here it's just a little bit wider of a flare on the right one and a less aggressive taper towards the end. So I wish this strap would come in this measurement. I think it would look so much better because it's such a petite looking strap, but you know, what are you going to do? Anyways, let's put this on. So this is the short end of the strap. This is the one that has the buckle, so this always goes to the 12. So we'll rotate that guy around. Put that in, give it a little bit of a jiggle to make sure it's really in place there. We'll do the same for the other side. A little bit of a jiggle. All right, and moment of truth. Wait a minute. Of course, I would put this upside down. I'm sorry about that. I thought I had this right. I think I rotated my watch when I shouldn't have. There we go. Let's do this again. I messed up that reveal. Okay, that one's good. And one more here. Okay. Now we have a moment of truth. Here we go. Turn this around. There you go. Very cool. Let's go ahead from tip to tip. Follow those lines, blue, yellow, and red. And I think we kind of hit the match pretty close. And continuing it out there. Very cool. Let's put this on the wrist. I forgot to do a wrist check today, by the way. Here's my watch today, one of my mods. This is off the Casio Royale AE1200 WHD-1A. Case and bracelet. The module on the inside and the masking with those 3 dials is off of an AE1300-1AV. And then I've put this summer blue filter by Lee's Filter again, and oddly enough, these colored bull bars, and I'll put the link below. I think this is by a company called ZShion, ZShion. These are made actually for the Casio DW5600, but they fit pretty well. It's a little bit tight, but they fit pretty well onto the 1200 case. And the reason I got these bars over the bull bars by Jason K's is I love Jason K's stuff, but they do not make this in blue, and I wanted blue. So anyways, that's my wrist check there. Let's go ahead and take this one off and put on this one. Very comfortable strap, very light, obviously. And here we go. Comes with a labeled buckle. There you go. So just a very cool, I think, mod. Again, a little bit too skinny here, but not too bad. Looks very cool. I enjoy it. I think I'm going to be wearing this one all week. Just kind of a fun piece. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Very simple, very quick mod. As far as the Lee filter sample pack is concerned, I don't think you can find the sample pack that easily on Amazon or eBay anymore. So again, you can just type in camera gel filter sample pack, and there will be other brands. I think one of them is called Robux, and another one is by Polaroid. It's all the same stuff. They're probably going to have different names and coding, but I'm sure they'll have very similar, if not the same exact colors. And then you can just kind of play around to find which, colored mods will work for you. If you could like this video and subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated, as well as to my Instagram channel, which I have in the description below. You'll see this mod, and all of my other watches and mods that I do on Instagram. So I try to take, a photo a day. So, to kind of share my ideas and get inspired by others out there. And as always, have fun, play around with this stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.